Well, at 7:31 in Trinidad and Tobago for our business breakfast segment this morning, we wanted to put the focus on children and different issues related to children, with ever-increasing reports of children being abused by strangers and even people close to them. It's important to raise awareness about child abuse. We've just concluded Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. How successful was that? Well, the founder of the Global Center for School Counseling, Outcome Research, Evaluation and Development, Dr. Yvonne Laria, is here to tell us about her organization and some of its activities. She's the lady in the middle. We also have with us two other guests, and Dr. Nadine Isaac, who's a professional counselor, and Catherine Luces, who's a founder and a business person in her own right, founder of SAMI Business Services. And we're going to get some more information from all our guests in relation to our topic of interest. Dr. Laria, just give us your sense of this entire issue of child abuse and all of the issues associated with it. The Global Center, essentially, what is it all about?
Okay, thank you for having us. The Global Center is for School Counseling, Outcome Research, Evaluation and Development, also known as GCSCORED. We have been conducting, we've been in operation since 2011. We've conducted research across the Caribbean and the U.S., also Ghana and Kerala State, India. And our focus is to transform lives and create safer communities for children and youth across the globe. And we do that through different programming. And so this last month, April, our focus was on child abuse awareness and prevention. And we're taking this a step further. The month has ended, but we're taking this focus into the rest of the year, because based on what we've seen throughout the Caribbean and even in the U.S., the child abuse epidemic, I should say, it's an epidemic. It really is. And we feel that... Is
it showing any signs of letting up or reducing or tapering off at all?
Well, I can't... Anecdotally, no. Presently in the U.S., every 10 seconds a child is abused or raped. Just reading a report from the United Nations, the Latin America and the Caribbean region, one out of two girls are sexually abused in this region. So the three of us here, one out of us has been abused. If you 50%,
yeah,
which is staggering and daunting. I don't see it from my own professional position. I don't see it letting up. Because of all the other societal factors that are impacting families and children. I know in Trinidad we're going through a recession.
Yeah.
Those kinds of societal issues tend to increase the abuse that children suffer at the hands of adults.
Let me bring in our other two guests as well. Before I do so, let me just, if you want to get contact information on the organization, maybe you're hearing about it for the first time, the Global Center for School Counseling, Outcome Research, Evaluation and Development, known as GCSCORED. You can call at 860, well, in Trinidad and Tobago's number, 476-5454, so it's 476-5454, or you could email GCSCORED, as GCSCORED, at gmail.com. Is there a Facebook page as well?
Yes, we have a Facebook page for the child abuse prevention. It's called CAPA Initiative Facebook page, and we also have a website for GCSCORED, which is www.gcscored.org.
Okay, let me bring in Dr. Nadine Isaac. You were nodding when in agreement with Dr. Laria's view that it isn't tapering off the issues of child abuse. What perspective do you bring to this dialogue? Because in the absence of hard data in Trinidad and Tobago, we invariably rely on data from the United States, from Latin America, other parts of the world. What is your perspective on this situation related to child abuse?
Okay, well, in terms of child abuse, in terms of data that we've collected, I think that we definitely need more research. If you've looked at any of the various GCSC consultations being held in Parliament right now, you'd see one of the things that's coming out is the need for research and more data regarding the interventions and the different things that we need to do to be able to affect change. In addition to this, what we also need is more awareness. The Children's Authority recently, I think since they've been in operation, they collected data on their services, and they actually published a statistical bulletin, collecting data on their activities from March 2015 to, I think, February 2016. And some of the data that they have presented is indeed staggering. Presenting data, I think up to that point they had over 4,000 cases. Then they have, when you look at the data they presented, it is really and truly staggering. So, I mean, there has been data collected, but this is just more recent data. So in terms of research and trying to provide more information about it, it is definitely needed. But we could establish, based on the data that we have, it is a burgeoning issue, and it is something that needs to be addressed. And what our organization has been pushing, especially for this month of April, is to bring awareness. And what we've been doing is trying to, in bringing awareness, to engage those who we've been able to capture and be able to present to actually enroll or enlist them as advocates, understanding that your role as an ordinary citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, you have a role of being able to affect change for a child. We were educating individuals on the signs of child abuse, the signs of, and also educating individuals on the long-term impact of child abuse, to understand that persons who experience abuse in their childhood, the repercussions, they go on until adulthood, affecting their health, their relationships, their mental health, their relationships, their emotional competencies. It is real. And so what we've been doing is just trying to get people to understand that you have a role that you can play, understanding and being more informed. You can be able to affect change for a child by noticing these signs, trying to get assistance for them. And that's what we've been doing, trying to be able to use and harness the skills and the abilities that we have to be able to enlist people to be advocates, to be able to do what they can to be able to help.
Catherine Lucas, from your experience, are people willing to be enlisted into this cause, or as invariably happens in some communities, well, prefer not to deal with other people's issues. If what is happening across the road, that is their business, I don't want to get involved. What has been your experience in trying to be an advocate for this cause?
Well, you'd always find people who feel that, they don't want it. It's like a taboo subject. They don't want to touch it, they don't want to hear it, they don't want to feel it. But what we have found in terms of this month, what they have presented, we have seen a lot of people coming forward and actually sharing their own personal issues, and even issues related to sexual abuse, child abuse, neglect of children. They said that they have even, forwarded information to the different authorities trying to help. So I think because the subject is so relevant, it's so current, that people are becoming more aware and are more willing to share their own experiences. So I think from that perspective, I am very, very hopeful that what we are doing here, it is going to get some traction, and it is going to create, the interest to have people come in to our organization and actually get counseled, and for us to present, because it's not only about who come into the clinic, it's about those who we can go out to and reach. So this is an outreach as well.
We have, time is going by so very quickly. We have just about a minute left, unfortunately. But Dr. Arya, what is your message to Trinidad and Tobago this morning, as far as what people consider to be, as Ms. Lucas mentioned, a taboo subject, that is something that we prefer not to have to deal with and just keep it behind closed doors? What is your message today?
My message is child abuse, any type of child abuse, is everybody's business. We have to bring awareness. we have to provide prevention strategies. We also have to provide intervention. Because like Nadine said, Dr. Isaac said earlier, when a child is abused in childhood, when an individual is abused in childhood, that extends throughout their lives, not just in school or relationships, but in the workplace. Some of the effects of those things we're seeing in the schools, the high dropout rate, the promiscuity and pregnancy rate increasing, the bullying that we're seeing, the lack of focus, the amount of gang violence, all of these things, if we take a look at these children, these young people, we will see, we can trace back to the root, and the root is usually being in an environment that is non-supportive, toxic, and abusive. Unfortunately, we have to leave it there for the moment, but we can't finish without giving you the contact information once again. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's 476-5454. You could also email GCSCORED@gmail.com, or you could go to the website www.gcscored.org. We're talking about the organization that is known as the Global Center for School Counseling, Outcome Research, Evaluation and Development. Sorry that time is run out on us, ladies, but there's so many issues to discuss. Hopefully we'll have you back at another time to develop on some of these points. Thanks very much for joining us this morning. Coming up towards 7:41, approaching 7:42. We'll be back right after this.